The ABQI team, as we're known, is a city-affiliated research and innovation team funded by a grant secured by Mayor Berry that assists the city and its various partners inside and outside of government with overcoming pressing community challenges. Currently, we're partnering with many of those who are here today and others to conduct groundbreaking research on offender characteristics and behavior, as well as on crime concentration in our community. In addition, we're working hand in hand with the District Attorney's Office, various law enforcement agencies, and the private sector to develop new tools to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of our efforts to fight crime and prosecute cases in Bernalillo County. A couple of months ago, we gathered, most of the individuals who are part of this group gathered at the Real-Time Crime Center to announce the development and launch of the ALERT program, which is a data-driven collaboration between law enforcement and prosecutors to identify serious repeat offenders, track them through the justice system, apprehend them when necessary, and aggressively prosecute them from start to finish. In a short period of time, ALERT has been utilized to aid in the capture and/or the aggressive prosecution of 19 of our county's most serious repeat offenders. Today, we're building on that effort with a new tool that will significantly assist law enforcement officers and those at the DA's office in the investigation and prosecution of criminal cases. To talk about the SCAN initiative, which stands for Security Camera Analytical Network, I'm happy to introduce Albuquerque's Mayor, Richard Berry.
Thanks, Scott. Morning, afternoon. Thank you so much. Let me start off by thanking all of these individuals up here. As a mayor, I rely on the public safety professionals in our city, county, and state to keep us and our families safe. And with us today, we have Chief Eden, certainly, and his team from APD. Raul Torres is here, our district attorney. Chief Casetas is here, the chief of our state police. And we've also got BCSO Deputy Ray Chavez here from the Sheriff's Department. And I want to thank Manny from the sheriff for working with us as well on these initiatives. So what we're doing is we are in the process of unprecedented work between public safety professionals and our DA's office. We are working on ways to work smarter, to work harder, to make sure that we can overcome some disruptions in the criminal justice system, to put cases together that are better, to put them together faster, and to make sure that when we are bringing people into the justice system, we have the tools and resources that we need to do that. Today we are announcing the SCAN system, which stands for Security Camera Analytical Network. So let me paint a scenario for you. There is a crime that is committed in the city of Albuquerque, whether it's in a residential neighborhood or whether it's at a commercial business. Detectives and prosecutors from the DA's office work together to try to bring those responsible to justice. Part of that is collecting evidence. A lot of the evidence that they use is video evidence from camera systems. In our city, we have tens of thousands of camera systems that people have put in businesses and in their homes. But if you're that detective, or if you're that person, a prosecutor from the DA's office or the Sheriff's Department or state police, you are going to start your process by combing neighborhoods for these cameras. You're going to try to find out where are cameras, then you're going to try to reach out to the owners. You're going to try to find phone numbers. You're going to try to find all the information that you need to get that video evidence. And that's going to take you time as a police officer, as a prosecutor. This SCAN network is going to substantially cut down on that time for those businesses who are participating in this and the homeowners that are participating in this. It's a very simple process, but it's a profound process. Here's what we're asking people to do. If you choose, with your business or with your home, you can go onto the homepage of the City of Albuquerque or the homepage for the District Attorney's Office, and you can sign up your camera system on the network. What you're going to give us is the address. You're going to give us some basic information on if you have cameras. You're going to give us a contact phone number so that if there is a crime there and the detectives or prosecutors are looking for that evidence, they can spend hours contacting people rather than days walking around looking for cameras, knocking on doors. That frees them up to do other things to help build that case. This is 100% voluntary. There's no mandate here at all. This is a network of cooperators throughout the community. One of the things that we know, if we're going to fight crime, we're going to fight crime together. And that means each and every one of us, street by street, block by block, business by business, and house by house. So we will allow you to do that. Now on the commercial side, you actually have the opportunity, if you would like, to tie your camera system directly into the real-time crime center at APD. You can go on and join the network as a simple step. If you want to tie into real-time crime center, you can do that. For homeowners, it's simply a matter of getting on the network. We will not tie residential into the real-time crime center. So this has been several weeks in the making. This is one of the ideas that we talked about when we were in San Francisco with their DA's office. It is something that we think is going to help us really get more evidence together more quickly, and it's also going to stop this problem of having these loops override tapes. As you know, if you have a security system, that a lot of these are on loops. So sometimes people keep video evidence for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, but most of the time it gets erased and gone over. So this will allow us to be much more agile when getting to that video evidence. This is a partnership. This is one more thing that's happening between APD, the DA, the Sheriff's Office, and others in our community to keep us safe. This morning I met with Raul and I, our district attorney and our chief of police met with some folks from our tech community here. There's just a lot of discussions going on about how to make sure that we can tackle some of these disruptions that we currently have in the system. So a few people that I want to thank before I bring Raul Torres up is certainly himself, Raul Torres, for the cooperation. In my 8 years of mayor, this is unprecedented work that's happening between APD and the DA's office. It's really promising work, and I think it's going to bode well for public safety moving forward. Sheriff Gonzalez, of course, and his staff at the Sheriff's Office, Deputy Chief Ray Chavez, thank you so much. Chief Eden and Chief Huntsman, who've been working so hard out there to keep our families and our community safe, along with the men and women of Albuquerque Police Department. TJ Wilhelm is here. He's our real-time crime center manager, doing great work. Scott Darnell and our whole I-team and the Bloomberg Philanthropies for funding these collaborations that we have, many of them. And of course, from the Albuquerque Chamber of Commerce, Terry Cole and her entire team that are working on keeping our community safe in collaboration with us. We'll be taking another trip this week to look for additional funding, and so I want to thank Terry and her team as well. So with that, am I bringing up Scott again, or am I bringing up Raul? So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor. As the Mayor mentioned, we recently had the opportunity to take a delegation of government, business, and law enforcement leaders to San Francisco, about 25 of us, to meet with District Attorney George Gascon and his staff about a division in his office called the Crime Strategies Unit. We learned a great deal about the value of embedding analysts, investigators, and prosecutors together in the same place with access to a large toolbox of new technologies and methods to more intelligently fight crime, to better connect crimes to one another, to better connect criminals to one another, and to more strategically remove the most serious offenders from the community. The delegation visit was hosted by the I-team, was hosted by the mayor, by the district attorney's office, by the Chamber of Commerce. It was an important collaboration, and we're hopeful that in the months to come, we're able to build something similar to the Crime Strategies Unit in our district attorney's office here in Bernalillo County. On that point, SCAN is a mapping tool that will soon sit in the toolbox of not just police officers, but prosecutors as well, who work every day to try to build the strongest cases they can against those who are committing crimes around us. We're thankful for the participation and the support of the DA's office during the development of this tool, and here to talk about how SCAN can help prosecutors work more efficiently and effectively is District Attorney Raul Torres.
So I'm happy to be here today to talk about the SCAN initiative. I also want to acknowledge the City of Albuquerque, the Albuquerque Police Department, the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office, the State Police, and others who are working collaboratively to develop these kinds of new initiatives. What this essentially enables us to do is use the collective resources of this community and bring people together to try and join the fight against crime in this community. Oftentimes when I'm out at community meetings and meeting with neighborhood associations and other leaders, one of the things that they always ask is, what can we do to make a difference? What can we do to contribute to a safer community? The SCAN initiative, although it's relatively simple and relatively straightforward, would have a huge impact on law enforcement when there is the potential to have video evidence that may have been captured at a residence or at a commercial business. We spend a lot of time as prosecutors and as investigators on trying to locate the best possible evidence that connects armed robberies and violent crimes, assaults, any type of violent crime or property crime. A lot of times you have video evidence that may be inadvertently captured at a local business or at a residence. And so if people in this community are willing to at least let law enforcement know that they may have some of those videos, it can go a long way towards building stronger investigations and helping us improve our outcomes in the court. This is just the first step. I think it's an important step. We have a lot of work yet to do, but I'm encouraged by this, and I would encourage the community to take the steps necessary to reach out, learn more about this program, and help us fight crime and make this a safer community. Thank you.
Thank you, District Attorney. From a law enforcement perspective, SCAN should provide significant relief and assistance with investigations. As the mayor talked about, currently, officers spend a great deal of time at or around crime scenes simply trying to find security cameras, followed up by efforts to identify whether they work, what they see, whether the information is retained, and who has the ability to access the video feed. Here to speak about how the SCAN mapping tool can help officers investigate and solve crimes more easily is the Chief of the Albuquerque Police Department, Gordon Eden, the Chief of the New Mexico State Police, Pete Caceres, and Chief Deputy Ray Chavez from the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department.
Well, first of all, good afternoon. I can say this is a very exciting time for us in law enforcement, and it doesn't matter which badge or uniform you wear. Creating this network is going to be a great tool for law enforcement in the greater Albuquerque area. Being part of the network will allow our officers to know if you've registered with the network, where your cameras are located, as well as vital contact information. Our detectives and officers spend a huge amount of time at crime scenes, canvassing neighborhoods in an attempt to identify whether or not a video camera may be present. By registering in the network, our officers will have that information as they're actually driving to the scene of a reported crime. The reason I have the state police and the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department standing side by side with us is the network is not just exclusive to Albuquerque and the Albuquerque city limits. Regardless of where you live, you can register to be part of the network. And we encourage people to join that network. It's not a monitoring program. We do not monitor your cameras. It's a networking capability and an investigative tool for our detectives and our criminal agents. So I would encourage you that if you do have a home camera system, or if you're a business owner and you would like to know more, to go to our web page where you can find out more information about the network. In addition to that, as I stated earlier, if one of our partner law enforcement agencies is also looking for this information, they will have the capability of calling the Real-Time Crime Center and obtain that information from one of our operators and one of our analysts. So this is something that we're very excited about. It's something we think that we're doing that'll take us up to a better step, a higher step of being able to help our officers, our detectives, and our agents solve crime. So thank you very much.
I'll be very brief, and I appreciate the partnership and the ability to go to San Francisco with the I-Team and really discover what they've been doing and bring some of that back to New Mexico. Chief Eden summed it up about being able to identify the individuals committing crime in our community, but even beyond that, I believe this system helps us strengthen what we have, and that's a partnership with the public. We want the folks committing crime in New Mexico and the metro area to take note that this really tightens up the net. It's a partnership between law enforcement and law enforcement, and ultimately we want you to quit committing crime or go somewhere else, because it gives us the ability to catch you after we identify you and hopefully put you where you belong. And that's not victimizing the citizens of New Mexico. Thank you.
On behalf of Manuel Gonzalez, the sheriff, I'd like to say that we appreciate this partnership, and we look forward to working with our partners, with the DA's office, the Albuquerque Police Department, and the State Police Office. And most importantly, we want to work with the citizens of Bernalillo County and of Albuquerque, because you guys deserve the help, and we need to get the guys in order to prosecute the guys and the suspects. We need this technology, and we need everyone's help in order to do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief Eden, Chief Cassettis, and Chief Deputy Chavez. Of course, for this tool to be as beneficial to crime fighting and as helpful to officers and prosecutors as it can be, we need as much participation from the community as possible. In particular, businesses in our county have two ways in which they can be involved in SCAN. At a minimum, we ask that businesses sign up so that we can add their security camera information to our mapping tool. But they will also have the opportunity to enroll their security camera systems in a program that was started by APD in 2013 that allows the Real-Time Crime Center to remotely access business security cameras whenever there is a call for service near that business. Participation is voluntary, of course, and currently over 32 companies or private entities in Bernalillo County have tied their security camera feeds directly into the Real-Time Crime Center. This includes all of the Blake's Lottaburgers in Bernalillo County, St. Pius High School, and every 7-Eleven convenience store. And a big thank you to 7-Eleven for having us here today, and in particular their executive team members who have taken steps to be part of this partnership with the Albuquerque Police Department. With us from 7-Eleven are Susan Martz, Ron Joyce, David Spinarski, Mark Rosen, Dusty Hoydall, and Marion Downey. Thank you very much. And I'd also like to pay special mention to TJ Wilham, here, the director of the Real-Time Crime Center, and his team for not only working so diligently to put the alert program together, but also to develop and help roll out today the SCAN initiative. So at this time, let's bring forward our final speaker, Terry Cole, President and CEO of the Greater Albuquerque Chamber of Commerce, to talk about the importance of this private sector partnership.
Hello, everyone. Our trip to San Francisco was just wonderful because we brought back some very important projects and initiatives that we want to roll out to make our city safer for our residents and our businesses. This SCAN program today that we are announcing is the first of some of our efforts that we will be bringing back into Albuquerque from our San Francisco trip. So we are asking, we are asking for all businesses to sign up for SCAN. We're asking them to link their video to the Real-Time Crime Center so that more attention, immediate attention, can be given to the crimes that are occurring. What you see behind me is a collaboration of people, which is another learning that we brought back from San Francisco. No one person up here will solve this problem in this community. It is going to take business, law enforcement, the district attorney's office, the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department, and the list goes on and on, all pulling on the rope in exactly the same way in order to get the crime lowered in this community. And we are all committed up here to do exactly that. When we were in San Francisco, we also heard from business there, and we heard from their role and the success they had in lowering crime in the San Francisco area. Their aggressive action, particularly with a program like this, enabled business to be a partner with law enforcement and the district attorney's office to break up at least 2 crime units that they were having to deal with in San Francisco. So business is going to be a very important part of this, working collaboratively with anyone else. And we will not stop until this gets done. One final note, when we talked to business in San Francisco, the business people said, Terry, what your chamber and everyone else has to do is make Albuquerque too hot for criminals, because when you do that, they will leave. And that's exactly what we intend to do. Thank you.